it's so, so cruel, but you won't ever be alone. I can get a little angry, be a little dangerous. No matter what, I do it all again for us. I can be the one who breaks you, be the one who builds you up. You'd be surprised how many lines I cross, how many lines I cross for love.
Making tomato sauce today. We had enough Roma tomatoes to fill this pot, like a heaping pot, and we have another heaping pot full that we can cook down, coming out from the garden. They're not quite ready yet, but they will be shortly. And you know, it's not going to make a huge amount of sauce, but you know, sometimes you wonder why bother. But I like to bother because I think that any amount of food that we grow is good for the planet. It's good for us in terms of being in touch with the land and with the food that we are eating. And it tastes really good. It's a fun activity, keeps me grounded. All kinds of reasons why I like to do this. Even though it's not going, like it wouldn't fill a pantry. We used to have a garden that would fill a whole pantry for the winter. And that was fantastic. And now we have less, but still enough that we can enjoy and be part of the process of being good to the planet by growing our own food. So I'm not going to bother putting these up. I'm just going to keep the sauce in the fridge. I'm not going to bother canning them because there's not enough, and we're going to go through it fairly quickly. And also I like to share with my daughter. I'm going to see this weekend, so I'll bring some sauce with me. Autumn equinox, I'm making a rowan berry necklace. This is something that my grandmother and I used to do when I was a little girl in Poland. And to be honest, we only did it 3 times because I was quite small. I was almost 9 when I left Poland. So I'm imagining that we started doing it around the time I was 6 years old. So money was tight, so it wasn't something that I could say to my grandma, can you buy me a necklace to wear? Which she would have tried, but it wasn't always possible. So she would make me a necklace out of rowan berries. And at the time, I was little and I didn't know anything about the significance of the rowan tree as a protector, and as a tree, witch's tree. But I did enjoy the time that we spent together doing this, and I still remember the fragrance of rowan berries from childhood. Make a little knot at the bottom so that things don't fall off. The berries are going to shrink and shrivel, so they will be smaller than they are now. But I'm going to use this as a way to call my grandmother forward, to be able to speak to her or receive messages from her during the autumn season up to Samhain. And I will also use it as something for my altar. When we moved to the cottage, we planted a rowan tree pretty much right away. And now it's been 3 years and it's producing berries. I did ask permission for gathering berries before I did so, and I got to a certain amount before the tree said, that's it, no more. So they are all here, and I'm going to make a very simple necklace. Like when I was making these with my grandmother, we wouldn't have had any like special clasps or anything. She would just use a needle and thread to thread them on, and then when it was finished, when it was the right size for me, she would just make a knot, and that would be it. But I am going to add other beads. I'm going to add, actually I don't remember what this stone is, but carnelian I'm going to use, and I'm going to use some wooden beads as well. So I'm going to do the same as with my grandmother, just make a very simple necklace that you make sure it's long enough and you can slip it over your head. Going to start with some wooden beads and also these carnelian. Whoop. My favorite stone, carnelian. And then I also have these really pretty, gosh, I wish I could remember what they're called. It's gonna come to me sooner or later. They're really beautiful. It's a really pleasant way to connect with an ancestor, to make a little craft, to connect with the tree that you're creating magic from. And that has meaning for you. We were going to get a rowan that had the more red berries, but that wasn't available, so we bought this one that had the orange berries. Is this gonna go through? Nope. For the corn chowder, I've got zucchini, onion, the corn that I've shucked off the cob, smoked paprika, smoked chili flakes, thyme, and I'm going to add the chopped potatoes and some broth, salt and pepper, and let that cook down. And then later we're going to add some coconut milk. It calls for dairy, but I'm going to do coconut milk instead. I've added a little bit of fresh thyme, and then once it's cooked, when the potatoes are soft, I'm going to puree half of it so there's a little bit of substance to the bite. It's not going to be completely smooth. And then I'm going to add the coconut milk. So I wanted to show you one of my favorite cookbooks. It's called Plenty Vibrant Vegetable Recipes from London's Ottolenghi. One of my favorite recipe books of his, and today I'm going to make these herb stuffed tomatoes. Looks really amazing. I'm also making corn chowder to go with this, and I baked bread, so it'll be the corn chowder, the tomatoes, and the bread. Herb stuffed tomatoes. It's an amazing recipe. It's got onion, garlic, wrinkly black olives, and a bunch of herbs. Olive oil, panko, oregano, parsley, mint, and capers, and black pepper. So that's what's for supper. Okay, for the tomatoes, I didn't have black wrinkly olives, so I used the green. I used red onion instead of white, and I didn't put capers in. So it's just my own version of it, but I have tried the mix and it's really delicious. So we'll bake these up and see what happens.